Hello, and welcome to another episode of Brettcast Movie and TV Talk. It has come and gone far too quick that is the second season of The Mandalorian. That is why I am here, to give my thoughts on the second season of The Mandalorian. So here I go. Before I start, I want to say that the previous episode of Gaming Talk was the first video I made using my brand new standalone microphone. A blue, that's the brand, blue Snowball Ice microphone. It costs $50 and is a huge improvement over my Logitech headset. I'm not trying, this isn't like a promotion. This isn't paid, sponsored, whatever. I'm just really happy and excited to make better quality videos with better quality audio. Now, on to the topic at hand, and yes, there will be spoilers. I'm going to start off with the interesting parts of this season. So, Mando's trying to get the child to his kind, which Mando thinks is the Jedi, as he doesn't realize that they mean the species that the child is. Anyway, the way he figured out this is that we get an episode where Mando goes to a town, and the woman running the town tells him that their town is being plagued by a Jedi, and Mando needs to kill this Jedi, and he'll get rewarded a staff of pure Beskar. This Jedi turns out to be Ahsoka Tano, which Mando doesn't kill because he knows that she will be able to give the information he needs on the child. Ahsoka tells Mando that its name is Grogu and that she can't train it because it would be basically the same situation as Anakin. She tells Mando that he has to take the child to this special place where it can commune through the Force to other Jedi, so some Jedi will come and take Grogu for training. The following episode is exactly that. The interesting part of that is that while Grogu is doing his Force communication thing, a ship arrives, and wouldn't you know it, it's the Slave One with Boba Fett. Boba Fett wants his armor back from Mando. Oh, how did Mando get his armor? In an earlier episode, there was a guy that had the armor, but was not a real Mandalorian. The town was having some kind of creature problem, so this guy made a deal that if Mando helps him, he will give the armor back to Mando, and that's what happened, and that's how Mando ends up with Boba Fett's armor. Anyway, the episode with Grogu doing his thing ends with Moth Gideon in his super fancy cruiser ship sending his brand new Dark Troopers down to take Grogu and finally completely destroying the Razor Crest. Luckily for Mando, Boba Fett is willing to help him. Yes, they set off in the Slave One for the final 2 episodes. Their first step is to go back to Cara Dune because she is a marshal and they need a prisoner released. It happens to be a guy that attempted to betray Mando in Season 1. They need him because he knows stuff about the Empire as he used to work for them. They have to go to a planet where a hidden Empire refinery is because they need the coordinates to Moff Gideon's ship. They take over one of the big vehicles that's taking things in and out of this refinery, as well as swap into some stormtrooper armor. As they're driving, they see some explosions and they find themselves fighting off pirates that eventually get decimated when some TIE fighters take care of the pirates. Once inside, Mando goes to a terminal to get the coordinates, and the funny thing about the terminal is that it's something where the terminal has to scan the person's face, so he ends up taking his helmet off. In the next and final episode, they need to make their move and they need some help. So they go get some female Mandalorians that Mando had a run in an earlier episode that I don't feel like going over the details of that episode. One of the two knows Moff Gideon because he took the Darksaber from her and she wants to get it back so she can be the ruler of Mandalore. She and the others agree to help, but they want Gideon's cruiser and the Darksaber, and Mando is fine with that because he just wants Grogu. Eventually they're on the ship and Mando is face to face with Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon acts like he's going to just hand over Grogu, but Moff attempts to cut down Mando with the Darksaber, but fails because the only thing the Darksaber can't cut is pure Beskar. They fight and Mando wins and takes Moff Gideon prisoner and also takes the Darksaber. They're all on the bridge of the ship as the Dark Troopers are trying to break down the door. It's also a moment when it's revealed that the one female Mandalorian can't just take the Darksaber from Mando. She has to win it in combat, even though Mando is just like, I forfeit, take the damn Darksaber from me, but, just doesn't work that way. Anyway, as the Dark Troopers are trying to break down the door, and everyone's prepared, you see on the cruiser's cameras a single X-Wing appear and boards the ship. Then you see a cloaked Jedi with a green lightsaber cutting their way through the Dark Troopers. Once all the Dark Troopers are dealt with, Mando opens the doors to the bridge as he knows this Jedi is there for Grogu, and even Grogu knows it. The Jedi enters the bridge, takes its cloak down, and oh my gosh, it's Luke Skywalker! Yeah, well, it's CGI Luke Skywalker from around the time of post-Return of the Jedi. Look, I'm not disappointed about it, but it just doesn't look like Luke. It's close. It looks like a bad cosplay almost. Or not even a bad cosplay, but like a decent cosplay, but isn't quite there. They also don't sound like Luke from Return of the Jedi. Still, it is interesting that Luke Skywalker of all Jedi has come for Grogu. That's how the final episode of Season 2 ends, with Grogu going with Luke Skywalker. The ending has sparked a lot of rumor and things about Grogu, and what may have happened to him after this season of The Mandalorian, and trying to tie things in with the sequel movies, and all of that kind of stuff. I read a whole article about, could it be possible that Kylo Ren killed Grogu? And this person went into great detail trying to explain this to come to a conclusion that there's not enough evidence to say that Grogu was or was not killed by Kylo Ren. It was a waste of time for whoever wrote it and anyone who read it, like me. I'm not going to fuel any speculation here, and I'm just going to say that I look forward to Season 3 of The Mandalorian, whenever that may be. That's all I have to say, so if you're end of the conversation, leave a comment below. As always, thanks for listening, and goodbye.